This is Sky with Smart Poker Study. I reviewed 8 losing hands from my student's button play, and they revealed 12 different leaks, which he confirmed. So let's get into them. Gambate! So my newest student sent me 9,300 hands, and he just wanted me to help him find some leaks so that he can go through the Poker Forge and address his leaks smartly, right? Well, I started going through his stats, and I found some potential areas of concern, but then I decided, let me just take a look on the button, go position by position, review his biggest losing hands. So I sorted it by my currency 1, and right here in the first 8 hands, I actually found a list of 10 different leaks. Now this one has a star. I forgot to type this out to my student, but what I did before I discussed any of these hands, any of his specific leaks, I sent him this list of 10 leaks, and I said, hey, which of these ring true? Which of these are leaks that you have? And he confirmed 1 through 8. These 2, he said, not so much, but these 8 for sure. And I was just clued into these leaks via these just 8 biggest losing hands on the button. So let's go through these right now, and I'll just discuss them all with you, why I was clued into these leaks, and at the end of the video, I'll give you the recommendations that I gave to my student for how we could plug all of these leaks and the order in which I would recommend that he plug them. And we're going to see the hands with any hole cards exposed that ended up getting to showdown, right? A limp, an ISO raise from a fishy player, 62-12, and then 136 big blind shove. Now, maybe this is kind of a standard going for value play at 2NL in PokerStars, New Jersey. Right away when I saw this, I thought to myself, whoa, you push too hard with your big pocket pairs, and you probably can't fold them pre or post flop, and we have some other hands examples of that one right here. Because generally, if you're trying to go for value, you've got the second best starting hand. Why not go 16, maybe even 20 big blinds if you believe that these guys are the biggest fish? Now, he got super lucky in this hand to get 3 other players calling his all-in. Kings versus all this, holy cow, what a dream spot until the flop comes, right? And then he loses it all right there. So I'm not saying that he should have folded pre-flop, but this just clued me in to a leak that a lot of microstakes players have, and it's just pushing too hard with your big pocket pairs. You see the aces, the kings, the queens, and oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. I'm going to crush this hand. I'm going to make so much money. So that was the first indicator of this leak. And down here, yes, he did go for value, and I don't fault going for value pre-flop with that raise, right? Let's go to the next hand. 9-8 suited, 32/11, looking fishy, decides to raise. He just calls in a fold and then a call. First leak it indicated to me is that you call pre-flop just in hopes of hitting something. You don't have a post-flop plan. Now, I'm not saying he should have 3-bet. This player only open raises 17% of the time. He's in the MP, probably has a tight range. I'm fine with just calling. But did he look ahead to the future? There's a fishy player, but we have a loose aggressive player over here, 27-23, who's 3-bet 11% in the past, and his most 3-bet-y position? Out of the big blind, 4 out of 25. His call sets up a great squeeze opportunity. So my guess is my student wasn't looking forward to the future pre-flop, nor to the future flop. Because before you make any call, you're saying, I want to see the flop. But I know my 9-8 suited isn't going to hit. What's my plan to steal it from the open raiser? Now let's go to the flop. King, Jack 7, just a gut shot. 4 big blind, donk bet, a fold, and then a call. Now you call post flop with any draw, and if you don't hit, you make desperate bluffs, which we'll see on the next street right here. Also, you miss key HUD stats to help make reads. Look at this player. Is this a C-bet? No, it was an out-of-position donk bet. This player defended the big blind, and he was out of position on the flop versus the open raiser and a caller. Donk betting for half pot in a multi-way spot generally is a sign of strength. Now, this player folds to C-bets, only 2 out of 3, but he's shown a tendency of folding more. He's honest versus C-bets. He preempted somebody's C-bet with this bet. It means he likes something on this board. And this also kind of clued me into you don't remember the action of the hand. In his mind, he might have just thought, this guy's C-bet half pot. I can call with my gut shot and play him in position. Ace of clubs on the turn. Half pot once again. And then, 3x raise. You call post flop with any draw, and if you don't hit, you make desperate bluffs. This club and the ace connected with the flop that he already tells me he likes. Barreling right here That's not going to scare him off of his hand. Plus, look at this. When it comes to being a c-better, he's not the c-better here, but just his general tendency as the one in the lead or the one with the betting lead, he c-bets flop more than half the time, but he's honest on the turn. He just now double-barreled from out of position. He likes his hand. This is not going to win the pot right now. Now, it's possible my student was trying to make this raise to set up a river shove, but this is not the time to do it. If you're going to make this bluff raise, you want to do it against somebody who can find a fold, who is not honest with his turn bets. And this obviously is bluffing, right? We get a call over here. Pot is 61. He only has 88 behind. The 7's not any kind of a scare card. He likes that board through the turn. It's not going to scare him off of his hand, but a desperate river bluff shove and a quick call over here. And yeah, maybe he was at the top of his range, but I don't think my student's story made much sense. It wasn't convincing enough to get this guy to fold anything. Oh, also, don't consider the pot odds being offered. If we go back to the flop right here, he needed 25% equity to call this half pot bet. Well, he only has 4 outs. There are 4 10s in the deck, and one of them he kind of doesn't even like, right? The 10 of clubs. But 4 10s gives you an 8% chance to hit on the next street. He's paying triple what he should to see this or to catch this gut shot. Not a fan of that call at all. Ace 9, open raising. We get a big blind defender. 56-19, fishy player, right? Huge stack as well. Whoa, Queen 10-7, a check and a c-bet. Totally fine. Down with this c-bet, absolutely. 5x check raise from a fishy player on a very wet board that my student doesn't like. There's no way this hand likes this board and likes this check raise. You don't pay attention to their bet sizing, and you often call or re-raise in hopes they're bluffing. I think that's what this call is, hoping he's bluffing, but I just don't see any indication that a 5x check raise from a fish is bluffing. And also, doesn't pay attention to player types. Right there, fishy player making a check raise. Ooh, ace. Got a little bit of showdown value, right? Oh, betting full pot, basically. You turn showdown-worthy hands into bluffs. This is the first instance of that. I really don't think this is trying to go for value here. I think he's trying to end the hand right now, get him to fold any random diamond. Maybe he can get a call out of king of diamond, queen of spades kind of hand. But I think he's just pushing his top pair hands too hard. You get a raise, putting them all in. He ends up calling and crushed. Pocket jacks, a 3-bet right here. Love the fact that he 3-bet. Great hand to do it against. Great opponent to tackle. 26-21. He does fold to 3-bets a lot, though. But we get a couple of folds and then coming back over the top. Now, this pocket jacks, pushing too hard with big pocket pairs. We're going to see that in just a second. You miss key HUD stats to help make reads. Pocket jacks right here, 3-betting. He's folded so far 6 out of 7 times. He just 4-bet. This player loves his hand. Now, I think the raise that he makes is out of the question. This is a fold or calling spot versus somebody who just loves his hand. And then maybe on a non-ace, non-king flop, a 10 high, a 9 high, if he checks to you, maybe now we can consider going for value. But this is not the time to go for value. He's pushing his big pocket pair too hard. And here's a really interesting idea too. That preflop size to just 7 big blinds, preflop sizes make it too easy for them to call. And versus a re-raise, it's hard to gauge their strength. This is why I say for 3-bets, you always go 9 to 12 big blinds, and 3-bet squeezes 12 to 15, or even more if there's more callers, right? It's because you want to get value from your best hands. You also want them to fold if you're bluffing. So it's not getting enough value. It's not getting the fold you want when you're bluffing either. And when somebody comes back over the top, this is over 3x. But it's a 4-bet to just 20.5 big blinds. Oftentimes you see value 4-bets at 24, 25, 27 big blinds. Small 3-bet allows for a smaller 4-bet for value, and it tricks you into thinking you've got him beat. So yeah, this is absolutely a value raise right now, but I just think he's pushing his big pair too hard. All in right there, no help on that board. Pocket 10s, a 5 big blind open, and a call. You call preflop just in hopes of hitting something. I just got the sense once again, he just calls because his hand is pretty and it's worthy of calling by most people's estimations. 1.5x. You don't pay attention to their bet size, and you often call or re-raise in hopes they're bluffing. This is 100% turning a showdown-worthy hand into a bluff. Pocket tens bluffing once again. Pocket tens, showdown-worthy into a bluff. And that sizing just screams value. Easiest fold in the world to me right now. It sucks, pocket tens. You didn't hit your set, but he hit an ace right here. Time to exit. You get a limper. Ace five. Oh, 2 big blinds, huh? 2 big blind ISO. Once again, preflop sizes make it too easy for them to call. It's also not isolating the player that you want. Fishy limper, worth getting all to yourself. When you make this tiny little ISO raise, call and a call. Crap, I wanted him all to myself, but now I'm multi-way. Now you're in the best position. 4 to the flop, ace 5 suited. It's not the end of the world. And multiple players just leads to so many more landmines to have to dodge, even when you hit a top pair. Now, I understand checking back. That's fine. Pot controlling on a super wet board. Let's see a favorable turn. Let's see a blank turn card, a deuce of clubs or something for a flush draw. Because this is not the time to be building the pot. So I do like the check back. The 6, though, check, check, and then full pot-sized bet from a fish right here. And it is a showdown-worthy hand. You don't pay attention to their player type, though. And you're not paying attention to their bet size. Fishy player, full pot. When that connects with the flop, he loves his hand, and I hate this raise. Turning a top pair into a bluff, not a good play, especially in a multi-way pot like this, versus a full pot-sized donk bet. And then a call. He loves this board, right? To make this call, you didn't scare him off his hand. He loves it. Well, that king doesn't really change anything. 68, 63 big blinds. Another desperate river bluff. This is a great time to just check back. I really don't think he made this shove to get a rivered king to call, a 9 to call. No, he was just hoping to get him to fold an ace right here. But to me, his story just didn't make any sense. King, jack offsuit, raise, and then a call. Now, there aren't any 3-betters to worry about right here. And so I am fine with this call, especially a tight open raiser. You don't need to be 3-betting. But once again, I just get the sense that, he just doesn't have a post-flop plan at this point. Fold, fold, ace, jack, 10, second pair, gut shot, full pot-sized bet from a fishy player. Sure, he c-bets 100%, but it's only 1 out of 1. He also raises infrequently. He has a tight raising range. He makes a huge c-bet. He loves his hand right here. And so we just call. Not paying attention to bluff sizing. Missing keys HUD stats to help make reads, as in this time, player type, of course. And then not paying attention to their stack size right here. So you need 33% equity, okay, but there's only 46 big blinds to play for. After he calls, that pot's going to be 21. It's a 2-to-1 stack to pot ratio. And most likely, this fishy player who just came out firing full pot, he's going to fire big again on the turn. What turn cards are good for you? A queen for sure, a jack for sure, king not too good. But then deuce, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, those are not good for you. Way more than half of the deck is terrible for you. He's going to make a big bet on the turn. What are you going to do? Oh, crap, call. Call post-flop with any draw, overpaying, not considering the pot odds being offered. There are so many problems with this call and that tiny implied odds behind to try to hit your draw. The 9 hits, of course he's going to shove, and then you call desperately clinging on to the hope that he is bluffing. And my student loses his hand. Now, I got to say that it might sound like I'm crapping on my student right here, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just pointing out all of the leaks that his various plays in these 8 hands fully reveal. And so I'm totally making this video. I made an initial video just for him to help him solve his issues, to plug the leaks. And he allowed me to do this video to help you out as well. The final hand, ace-8 offsuit, coming in for the open raise, a call, and then a fold. Don't know much about this player, but he only has 40 big blinds behind. 10, 4, 4. A check? Hold on a second. Failing to c-bet bluff in position on hard-to-hit flops. 10, 4, 4, yes, he has a 4. But at the time, we don't know what he has. He has ace-high, king-high, pocket 3s, 6, 7 suited right here. All of those can find a fold. Other ace-high hands even that just didn't hit anything at all. Offsuit ace-9. Can totally find a fold right here. So he's been willing up to this point. We've seen him bluff, desperate bluffs for big bets, but in the easiest c-bet bluffing opportunity, on a hard-to-hit board, in position he doesn't c-bet, that's a huge mistake. Oh, he hits a pair. How lovely. Whoa, hold on a second. Full pot? Okay, well, you can't fold them pre or post flop with your big pocket pairs or even your top pair. Now, it's not a top pair, but it is a second pair. Oh, geez. Once again, turning a showdown-worthy hand into a bluff, not paying attention to their bluff sizing and re-raising in hopes they're bluffing. And I really do think this is a bluff. He's hoping to end the hand. He's not hoping to get a king-queen to fold, right? That has equity against his second pair. He's not trying to get a 10 to fold either. I really think he's just pushing too hard with his second pair hand. Oh, and a re-raise right here for the rest of his chips. But what did you expect? He came out going for full pot? And this is one of the things, besides the king-jack offsuit hand that we just saw, this clued me into you don't pay attention to their stack size, because he just came out firing for this amount. 26 big blinds, he only had 33 behind. If you're trying to get him to fold, you should have shoved. If you're trying to get value, probably go less than this. Get him to recommit or at least call. This is kind of like a weird in limbo bet. I don't know what to make of it. That's why I'm thinking he's just pushing his one pair hand way too hard. A shove, and then of course he calls and then loses that one. All right, so if any of these leaks rang true for you, you have to start studying. Tackle them one at a time. I gave my student recommendations within the Poker Forge. He's a Poker Forge member, just joined like 2 weeks ago. These are the things that he can study that target these specific leaks over here. And this is the order that I gave him in. Do that pre-flop sizing first because you want to be the open raiser, the ISO raiser, the 3-better, more so than calling. So let's work on that pre-flop sizing first. It's the very first thing. One simple video in the Poker Forge, easy one to target first. And then targeting player types. There were so many times when he was making calls or raises versus fish using uncharacteristic aggression at spots where they're normally passive. Yeah, you got to start paying attention to opponents. Next, plan to steal before calling. Key thing to do. Number 4, bet size analysis. Exploiting your opponent's bet sizing. There are actually 4 videos within that course. A strategy, a play with purpose, a take action video, and a quiz to test your bet sizing analysis. In the Finding the Fold course, I gave him 3 videos. Listen to what they're telling you. A strategy, a review video, and a quiz. This is going to help him find a fold more often, or maybe just not push hands so hard, maybe do some more pot control when there's a good chance he could be beat. Number 6, let's find the fold more and stop this calling down in hopes that your weak pair is good. And to go along with that, after this video facing bets post-flop, leak number 4, calling C-bets within the leak plugging course. 3 awesome videos right there to help him. The hand reading course, do the entire thing after all this other stuff. And then number 9, well, there's going to be a video soon. I realized after making this video for my student that within the HUD Mastery course and the Exploit Your Opponents course, I didn't make a simple how to learn your HUD one day at a time video. So that's going to be coming to the Poker Forge soon. All right, now if you're not a Poker Forge member, you can join by going to thepokerforge.com. And you can also find videos for whatever training site maybe you're currently a member of, maybe any books that you own, and of course, YouTube videos or articles online. And to help you out even quicker, you don't have to do any internet searching or looking through your favorite books. Go to smartpokerstudy.com/plugleaks. Fill out the form, get the top 10 preflop leaks that are killing your win rate, and how to fix them fast. 4-page PDF, you can start taking action right now. Get it at smartpokerstudy.com/plugleaks. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to my student for allowing me to do this video. I truly do appreciate it. Good luck in your leak plugging journey. I'll catch you in the next one. Gambate!